In other foreign news, Iran is pushing back against new sanctions imposed by the Trump administration on 18 individuals and groups. The country's foreign minister, Javad Zarif, says the Trump administration's rhetoric could jeopardize the landmark nuclear agreement. He spoke yesterday with our Margaret Brennan about the relations with the U.S. and the detention of 2 Iranian-Americans. 80-year-old Baker Namazi has been held for more than a year. His son, 46-year-old Siamak, was arrested in October 2015 on charges of collaborating with a foreign government. Margaret Brennan is at the State Department with more. Margaret, good morning.
Good morning. Well, there are at least 3 Americans currently detained in Iran, and that country's top diplomat told me it's not helping already tense relations. Baker Namazi, an American citizen, he's in his 80s, he's in failing health. Why not release him as a humanitarian gesture?
He's not behind bars, but he is not free to leave the country. And as I said,
is he under house arrest now?
The executive, this is what I'm told, the executive branch of the government does not have control over judicial decisions.
U.S. citizens Siamak Namazi and his father, Baker, have been detained inside the notorious Evin prison for nearly 2 years. Namazi's attorney in the White House refuted Minister Zarif's account as, quote, patently false. A Trump administration official told CBS News that both men have received especially severe treatment, probably due to their American citizenship, and accused Zarif of being either ignorant or attempting to deceive. Zarif said U.S. authorities unfairly treat Iranian nationals.
The U.S. is basically arresting or asking for the arrest of Iranian nationals all over the world.
He also questioned why President Trump sees Iran's rival, Saudi Arabia, as a key ally.
Whose nationals were involved in 9/11? Were there a single Iranian in every act of terrorism that has been committed against Americans on the U.S. soil since 2001? And if the answer is no, then they'll see that this policy that has been adopted by the President of the United States is an affront not only to Iranians, but to sensible human beings.
The Trump administration's heated rhetoric and recent sanctions on Iran are aimed, in Zarif's view, at undermining the Obama-era deal to freeze Iran's nuclear program.
It's one of the worst deals I've ever witnessed.
President Trump was reluctant to certify that Tehran is living up to what he calls a bad deal.
The United States has been in defiance of both letter and spirit of the nuclear deal.
Does that mean Iran's going to walk away?
No, because there are procedures that are written into the deal. It's interesting for everybody to understand that this deal was not based on trust. This deal was based on mutual mistrust.
Now, Zarif said these recent sanctions are meant to poison the atmosphere and ultimately even sink the deal. Norah, the Trump administration is still crafting its Iran policy and for now says they'll stick to a strict interpretation of the agreement.
Important interview, Margaret. Thank you so much. Interesting to hear that the deal was built on
distrust, not trust.
Distrust.
Or as Reagan used to say, trust but verify.
Yes.